if you're Phoenix and you have this big decision with Ayton coming up, and 17 minutes in a game 7, and do you want to pay somebody like that, I don't know, $28-30 million a year when you're not even sure he could totally play against some lineups? I might have been wrong on this one. I thought they were crazy not to pay him. My stock on him was super high after everything he did in the playoffs last year. I felt like you need him in a series against Joel Embiid, Giannis, Jokic, Anthony Davis. Like this, there's a real need for this guy. On the other hand, but you all of a sudden you're playing Dallas and they go small and you basically can't keep the guy on the floor.
He could play small versus Dallas. I push back on that a little bit. The thing about him is because a lot of the guys he can actually punish players in the post. He's not like a Embiid where he's going to punish you and throw you in the basket, but he's going to duck in, little hooks over you. He's not like Gobert where he's getting played off the floor. Because the thing about Gobert is Gobert does well defensively, but then can't make you pay on the other end. I think Ayton can make you pay on the other end. The thing about him, he's only 23. He has to work on a more physical game. He's like Patrick Ewing 2.0 with a bunch of fadeaways and little over-the-shoulder stuff.
So just put your shoulder in, jump hook. So, but what's a guy like that?
How about dunking every now and then, right? How about that? How about just driving into someone and dunking? I don't know.
But what's a guy like that worth, in your opinion? 23 years old, about to be a free agent. Is he a $30 million guy for you? Because like the Celtics are playing Rob Williams 12.
Yeah, I'm a notorious hater when it comes to paying big men money. Like, I don't think you can ever win in the NBA if your center's a max contract player, unless it's someone who's like
unless
an Embiid or Jokic. So, and then of course Giannis, who's a center, but not really a center. But other than that, you go get a Brook Lopez, you go get a Robert Williams, you get all these other. You play a Maxi Kleber at the 5. You do all these different things. So I don't know, man. They're in a tough spot because they didn't sign him, so there's already some lack of trust there. They didn't offer him to him early. There was the end of game stuff where I heard from a very reliable source, which was Skip Bayless, who heard from Lil Wayne. So you can imagine the chain of custody there on that. how solid this information was that he refused to go into the game. That's what Lil Wayne told Skip Bayless. I think it was Skip. Which, if that's true, that's bad. And I did see him say, "I can't pass myself the ball on the bench." He did say that. I don't know, man. Look, these are tough decisions. It would be nice if they could have signed him and then traded him. I know they wouldn't be able to trade him until, I think they can't trade a guy like that until January now because of the rules. If they sign him in the offseason to an extension, I'm not sure. Maybe December.
Or they could trade him right before the draft. Like Indiana has the 6th pick.
They could certainly do that. They could trade it. They could trade his rights.
They could trade in Indiana for the 6th pick and Turner's expiring, something like that,
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I would need to. I just have like such a fear. If you look at there's such a history of big men getting paid and not. So you can go all the way back much further. But if you want to start with like who's the famous one from the Sonics that
I got so much column mileage out of that year. The Jerome James, $30 million.
Yes. The Jerome James to the Hassan Whiteside. So that look, I don't mean to compare DeAndre Ayton to Hassan Whiteside. But there's just like something, he doesn't seem like he has the fire to want to play. Like I read that he really likes to play video games. He stays up all night. Look, you just curb him as someone who had a video game addiction when I was a teenager. If you can curb him of the video games and just let him get some sleep and get him in the gym and get him like really wanting to be a little more, he just doesn't seem like he has like that I want to crush people. And when you're 6'11", you got to want to crush people. I think that's your strength.
Yeah, the Warriors something. I've been talking about this for a year because I thought it was super suspicious that they didn't give him the extension or come up with some sort of number, that they let that hang over the team. I think Chris has a lot of say in that organization, right? And if Chris is like,
how many more years does Chris Paul have? Like, do you really want to make long-term decisions?
I'm not even talking about. No, I'm not talking about keeping Chris happy. I'm just more like, I think these teams ask the guys their opinion, and with Chris, it's like, hey, Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, that's fair.
Should we risk paying this guy $110 million a year? Is he a reliable risk? And if Chris, I don't know if he said don't do it, But if Chris loved the guy and was like, wait, what are we doing? This guy's amazing. We got to pay him. So there's something fishy about it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Perhaps not. The way the league is going, though, is like you look at the teams that are left. Like Bam is a center for Miami. Celtics kind of play smallish to begin with. Dallas turned their whole season around by playing predominantly, Maxi Kleber at the 5 and with a little sprinkle of Dwight Powell. You better be really, really good as a center who can play in the playoffs, and if you're going to be making that much money. And I think he's shown flashes of it, but I don't know. Like, what is there? You got Booker making Booker's going to get the super max or whatever that's called now, and then Ayton, and then how do you? Can you?
And Bridges making like 26.
Yeah, can you build a team around those? I mean, the cap's going up, but can you build a team around those? I don't know. We'll see. Chris Paul was super valuable to them. They're going to need someone else to replace him when he eventually retires.
Well, I said on Sunday's pod, I just think their window's shut because I think it was a 2-year window, and I think they're going to get passed by.
The West is going to be scary.
The West is way better next year than it is this year.